Hi everybody and welcome to That's Football for your latest transfer news as Chelsea start to dominate this transfer window. It's, as we've said many times, it's the summer of Barcelona. 2022 transfer window is the Barcelona transfer window, but Chelsea are making big strides at the end of this window to make it about them, certainly in the Premier League. So Fofana and De Jong are the deals that Chelsea are working on at the moment. Obviously, we've already seen Cucurella, Sterling and Koulibaly. Have they bought anyone else yet? 3 big signings. I'm sure they'll buy more, but it's all about Fofana and it's all about De Jong and it's all about big money. And I want to talk about financial fair play in a couple of minutes. And I think it's quite an interesting thing to say about that because lots of people are getting involved in that. And I personally think it's sour grapes. I do. And I'll explain why in a minute. But lots of stories this morning coming out that Chelsea are advancing their interest in Frenkie De Jong and they're expecting a bid to be accepted by Barcelona. And that also they won't give up on Fofana. Apparently they've already had a bid of £70 million rejected by Leicester and they will go back in again. Definitely got Harry Maguire vibes. Getting a bit of deja vu here because I remember United going after Maguire 3 years ago and it was like 60 million, 65, 70 no. And eventually we got him for £80 million. So I think you will get him, but I suppose Leicester have got every right to say, look, we sold Maguire for 80 million. We believe Fofana's better, like the rest of the world does. So they may end up spending 80 million on Fofana, but he's a fantastic player. He is a fantastic player. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Leicester did spend about 30 million quid on him as well. So they're right to want at least double their money. And I think if Chelsea have clearly got the money, which we'll talk about. So I think he would be a good signing for them. I think he's a really good player. He was a bit unlucky with injury last year. So I think Fofana will happen. It's a one-horse race. No one's going to jump in there and pay that amount of money. Not even a Liverpool or a Man City or a Barcelona are going to come in there. So it's a one-horse race. He wants to go. Chelsea want him. That will happen. It's inevitable. It's just about how much they'll pay for him. But Frenkie De Jong is really interesting. Look, I can give you a lot of insight on this as a United fan. It's basically what we've sat on our arse focusing on all summer. So, you know, I'm baffled, but from a Chelsea point of view, let me just give you the detail on the Frenkie De Jong deal so you can understand it. So, effectively, he doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He never has. Barcelona want to sell him. Barcelona approached Manchester United in April and said that Frenkie De Jong is available. Man United couldn't believe their luck. And then Ten Hag was like, this is the player I want to build the team around. In May, we were getting stories from Spain that this was 95% going to happen. I think it was Gerard Romero who broke it and said he'll be a Man United player by the end of the month. I think he said he was 95% sure. And it sort of started from there. We're now in mid-August. What's happened? United basically parked everything. They didn't do any of the deals. They were like, we're focused on De Jong. This is the deal we want to do. This is what we're going to build our team around. Eventually, I think it was in late June or maybe early July, we agreed a fee with Barcelona for, I think it was 80 million euros. And then they went on tour. And it's always been about Frenkie De Jong's owed wages by Barcelona. Apparently, he's owed 17 million euros. And Barcelona don't want to pay him that. And they don't want to pay him his wages. He's on massive wages. I think he's their biggest earner. And that dispute has gone on and on. And with that dispute going on and on, Chelsea in the last few weeks have entered the race. And now we find a situation where a lot of people saying that Frenkie De Jong still wants to stay at Barcelona. Those wages are still unresolved. But Chelsea are pushing hard to sign him. The advantage with Chelsea is that they've got Champions League football. They're a team that can say we're going to challenge for the major trophies. We're in London and we will pay the fee that Man United have offered, which has been accepted. And there is even rumour that they will pay the wages that Frenkie De Jong is owed as well by Barcelona. So it ticks all the boxes for Frenkie De Jong, I suppose, that he doesn't want to leave Barcelona and he won't leave Barcelona without the money that he's owed. But if Chelsea will pay the money that he's owed and Barcelona are saying, we don't want you here anymore, you have to accept that you've got to go. And if you're going to go, Chelsea, Champions League makes a lot of sense. So it looks very logical that Frenkie De Jong to Chelsea will happen if everything that is being said is true. And I think he'll be a fantastic signing for Chelsea. I'm not 100% sure that Chelsea need him. I'm a massive fan of Kovacic. You've got Kante, you've got Conor Gallagher, you've got Jorginho still. So I don't know why they would go for Frenkie De Jong over spending that money, which will probably be another 70, 80 million on a striker. I mean, you could go and get an Osman, you could go and get somebody really, really good. But I'm not a Chelsea fan, and I'm not the owner, and I'm not Tuchel, and they really like De Jong, and I think they've been trying to move Jorginho on for a while, and he would be the logical replacement for that sort of player. I don't know what it means for the future of Declan Rice. I think that Chelsea and Declan... I mean, they could just go and buy Declan Rice next summer when Kante goes, to be fair. So actually, it probably means nothing for Declan Rice, to be honest with you. But it is interesting. I do think Chelsea have had a very scattergun approach. I think this owner has almost become owner, director of football and manager at times. But you can't argue with the players that they're buying. Fofana's fantastic. Sterling's a good signing. Koulibaly's fantastic. I like Cucurella. And De Jong's a fantastic player as well. So as much as Chelsea have been a bit all over the place, and they've been rejected by a few clubs like Koundé and Rafinha players, they still go from one good player to another good player. So yeah, I mean, the United thing. Look, I've worn T-shirts, not this one. I've said 90%. I'm not the director of football. I'm not the CEO, and many journalists have said what I've said. That the story with Man United and De Jong has always been the private story that hasn't been public. It's always been from United that they're really confident that they're going to sign De Jong, that it's about patience, they've got their targets and they will get them done. We already know in relation to United that this is now falling apart. You don't bid for an Arnautovic unless you're absolutely lost your mind and you're desperate. So United are crumbling and Chelsea are taking advantage. I don't know what happened. My personal feeling is, if this is true, and look, maybe Frenkie De Jong still signs for United and doesn't go for Chelsea. Maybe he stays at Barcelona. Nothing is done yet. But I think what has happened is Manchester United were approached by Barcelona. And I think that's where their confidence came from. Man United were approached by Barcelona about Frenkie De Jong. The story of this transfer, as I just said, Man United would never, after their worst ever Premier League season, have thought, let's get Frenkie De Jong. Because it's like saying, let's get Kimmich from Bayern Munich. You're not getting one of Europe's best midfielders to come and play for Man United in their current state. Barcelona approached Man United. Man United took the bait because he's a fantastic player. And I think United's confidence has always been, well, Barcelona approached us. Barcelona won't do us over. Well, Barcelona will do a lot of clubs over at the moment because they're out for Barcelona, which is their right. I also think that there's been a conversation or conversations between Man United and De Jong's agents that have stayed private. And I personally think that at times over this summer, from what I've been told and what other journalists have written, De Jong and his agents have said they'll come to United once they've got their deal sorted with Barcelona. And I think that's always been United's mistake. I think United sat there going, well, look, all this public stuff that he wants to stay at Barcelona, of course he does. Barcelona want to sell him though. And he's already told us that if Barcelona sell him, he'll come to us. And I think United, stupidly, naively, have just sat there and gone, let De Jong and Barcelona sort their problems out. And when they do, he'll come to United. Absolutely stupid in any negotiation. It's like you've got your dream house. The owner says, we'll sell it to you for a fair price. And then a new person comes in with more money and then they sell it to them. And you go, but you agreed with us. Well, the sellers are going to go, yeah, but they're offering us more money. It's as simple as that. And I think what's happened is United have agreed a deal, been told by De Jong and his agent that they will come once it's been sorted out with Barcelona. And in the meantime, delay has allowed Chelsea to come in with more money and a better offer. And De Jong and Barcelona have gone, well, sorry, Man United, but this is a better offer for everybody. And I think that's probably what's happened. I think United have just been ridiculously naive, and that's what's happened. So, I mean, I suppose the big question is, can Chelsea please their Chelsea fans? And what does everybody else think? Chelsea don't play great football at the moment. They need to play better. Lots of good defenders bought, good midfield. They need to, they've definitely got the squad to get these sort of players in to really compete. I'm just interested to see what they're going to do with the attack. So let us know there. As for financial fair play, a lot of people saying about Chelsea, it's not fair. They're spending ridiculous money. Their net spend's going to be over £300 million after they've done all this. My answer to that is, so what? If Man United were doing it, I wouldn't care. Really, it's just jealousy. And most of that jealousy comes down to the fact that we've got the Glazers, Arsenal have got Kroenke, Spurs have got Levy, Liverpool haven't bought a midfielder. It's just jealousy. I mean, maybe there is unfairness in how much Chelsea have spent, but Man City have done it, PSG have done it. Realistically, if we were in Chelsea's position, we'd love what they're doing. They're buying good players to try and win things. That's all I want Man United to do. So financial fair play and where Chelsea are getting the money from, well, that's quite interesting if they break any laws, but that's not for me to moan about. The reality is Chelsea are buying really good players to be competitive on the pitch. Well done to Chelsea. Simple as that. Let's see what happens though. There could be more twists and turns. I haven't thrown my t-shirt in the bin yet, but if I do, I'll have to do a little clip of that. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll see you on the next one.